All right. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's, family. Hope all is well. Because the markets are not, they are tripping. All right. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's, family. Hope all is all right. Cool. Yeah, the markets are tripping. They having a fit. They tripping. Happy New Year. Oh, hi, Donald. Hold on one second. I forgot about that too. I'm lost uh all my coordination. Give me 2 weeks off. I forget my name. Sorry, you guys. Hold on. Let me finish this last bite. I know I done picked up some weight over the weekend, over the holiday. Man, I ate so good and I've thrown restraint to the wind. You know how you know your stuff is you can gain weight. You go back home, you put on the same outfit, that thing tight. You feel pregnant. Yeah. Nancy said, "Oh, you ain't gaining no weight, girl. My clothes is telling me the truth. I sure appreciate your kindness. You're a sweet girl, but guess what? My clothes said, plumpty dumpty. You had too much sweet potato pie and sweet baby Ray barbecue sauce." So anyway, let me go ahead and get us started. Father, thank you for letting us get together today and having a new year. And I pray all is well on your end as well, that you have a good day, Lord. And bless this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. I just had me a unique breakfast. I had me a salad for breakfast with some scrambled turkey meat mixed in some, but that's okay. Y'all don't need all that. Trying to get back healthy again. All right. So, anyway, the markets are actually tripping. This is officially the first week of, and this is just my opinion, but I'm just sharing with you guys. This is the first official week of the market open since you had the holiday weekends. Last week, the market was open, but it wasn't necessarily the banks, institutions, and so forth being involved in the markets. It was just the markets being open for the retail traders to play. But the big whales, meaning the banks, institutions, and everybody else who normally goes on holiday vacation and they take off, they took off. In fact, I went to go visit PJ and his wife and my granddaughter, and we were just chopping it up. And he has a person, a contact who is very, very high up in Chase Bank. Well, let me be careful on what I say. This guy. Well, I ain't gonna, it don't matter. So anyway, he had a personal conversation with PJ because PJ was like, hey, I'm killing gold. Everything was good, and then all of a sudden, it just hit into a bad turbulent situation. And there was another young man, and I wish I would have played. Maybe I'll save it for another time and play it for you guys. It's another guy who some of you guys may know on YouTube, and he's a millionaire trader and this and that and this. But he was saying the same thing that um, for him, it was just he lost like $200,000, and he's like, it put him into depression because he's like, man, what is going on? So long story short, PJ had shared with me that this executive at Chase Bank share with them about the markets, why they took off. They said they took off well ahead of time because they knew all that turbulence was coming. And so that's why he told all his staff not to trade the markets. And this is a Chase Bank executive. He told them not to trade the markets. So a lot of times when these markets are doing turbulent things, you have to weather the storms because we don't have the information that the executives at Chase Bank. Which, by the way, I need to get hooked up with that dude. Maybe I'll find out some stuff on. But anyway, he shared some other things with PJ that I can't say, but because there's some stuff coming up. Uh, but the point is that the markets are just now basically reopening, and today is going to be an important day because you got the Feds coming out with the Fed minutes this afternoon, and they're going to infer about possibility, and this is just my opinion, they're going to infer about possible interest rates lowering or raising. I doubt if they raise interest rates, but are they going to cut rates or leave them at the current state or whatever? That's going to be coming up later on this afternoon. But that does not explain the overnight complete meltdown of the markets that happened just a few hours ago around 3 in the morning. And I'm exhaustedly tired because I was up looking at the charts and I saw that happen. Normally, after 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or New York time, when you're looking at the charts, normally after that time, London market has already done its thing and the markets are pretty slow. But between 3 and 5 a.m., man, it was going donkers. It was going stupid donkers. And I don't have private, privacy or access to that type of information to find out what happened with the markets. But again, it's volatility going on. The markets are recovering over the weekend and doing their adjustments. So we just got to weather it through. Probably last for another week, and then for the rest of this week, and then after that, it'll just smooth itself out. Smooth itself out. Okay. Um, Today, what I want to do is ask you guys, and let me get a note, something to take notes. Make sure that you raise your hands today and let me know what we need to cover because, again, these classes are really for you guys. And I want to find out what do you need help with. And if you're not asking me questions, then I don't know what to tell you. So, John, yeah, that's what happened to my clothes. They shrunk in the dryer. I'm washing about 50 times, but this one time, man, I don't know what happened to my clothes. They shrunk right around the midsection. I told Nancy I feel pregnant. I know I done picked up some pounds, but anyway, uh, guys, shout out to a couple of pairs that you want me to cover today, that you want me to look at, and I'll make sure to focus on that. Any pairs that you guys type in real quick, any pairs specifically that you want me to look at? If not, I'll just do a general overview. Okay, somebody says UJ. All right, got you. GJ. Yep. PC, you said just go over all the majors. Huh? All right, tell you what, I'll just go one by one. I go through each one. Tell you what I'm looking at. All right, let's go. And gold. All right, so here's gold. Charlotte, thank you. Gold is right here on the screen. As you can see, it's looking like it's doing a retest up here. Let's jump to the 4-hour time frame. And here's where I'm looking at it, doing the triple top right here. As you can see, it's got stuck right here. Bing, bing, bada bing. So the question is, if it's going to break through this box, this zone, then the next level it can come up to, if we're looking at it from just specifically the 4-hour time frame, would be somewhere up here. Let me move this down a bit because I see there's a level right there. Okay, level of activity. So I can see it coming up to there if it breaks through. Okay, then the next level, if it keeps on going, will be here, which would be the 61.8 level. If you guys don't have the 6 analysts, make sure to get it. You got all that stuff built in so that you don't have to figure out and draw Fibonacci levels and all that kind of stuff. It's right there. Support and resistance, supply and demand. It's already built in. So that's what I'm looking at on there. So if we zoom in closer, you can see there's a top right here. And I'll draw it right here and change this color to something different. All right. So you can see there's a top, and it looks like it's trying to retest this top right here. Okay. And that wiggling candle, see when it's wiggling like that? I know that the stock market is going to open in about 15 minutes. So we'll see what that looks like. But I see that it's making a huge push up, which, by the way, on the gold copier, we did, Golden Boy took 2 trades and they both won. So thank you, Golden Boy, for the money, because I got that running on one of my prop firm accounts with Blue Guardian. So thank you very much for that win. I need that. I plan on having about 10 prop firm accounts. By the way, guys, write this down, because on one of my prop firm accounts, I will show y'all, but I got too much. I got to pull up all of my screens, because if I hit this button, then it's going to pull up everything. But I think I am on my 100K account. Let me take a look and I'll tell you guys. And here's the plan for me. You guys do what you want to do this year. Everybody's grown. But let's pull up my trade locker. Trade locker, the head knocker. All right. Where am I at on this one? Okay, so on this one, if things go well and we don't have huge spikes in the market today, and I'll show you I'll show you some of the trades that I'm looking at. One that I'm in right now. Matter of fact, let me just hop there and show you guys this one. This one had me worried, kind of sketchy, but it did drop because all the Swiss JPYs, and I did put out a video yesterday. How many of you guys watched it? Type a 10 if you guys watched the video I put out yesterday. Yeah, I got my Traders Connect hooked up to this Trade Locker account. So whatever I have a demo account here, and in here, and whatever trade I take in here, it actually just copies right over to my Trade Locker account. All right, so some of these trades I took, and I'm gonna start trying to do. Keep forgetting, I'm looking at y'all over here, getting the camera right here. So I did do some live videos before I closed out the trades. Those were trades I actually had on my prop firm account, just to show legitimacy. Okay, and so here's you've seen that on some of those I was targeting the JPY pairs because they were looking so juicy and tasty. I should have held on longer because they actually collapsed further down. Like for an example, look at GJ. As a matter of fact, let me go to my thumbnail and I will tell you which ones I took, and we'll go through those. It was GJ, and look at this. If I would have held from where the video was, look at where it is today. I would already have passed my prop firm challenge. This one is EJ. I got out too soon because guess what? It dipped down further. So then I went this early and said, okay, which one is still hovering close to the top for that drop from the 4-hour time frame? And the only one that was still hovering was CAD JPY, but it was doing this sideways action. So I'm like, I hope this thing don't retest. But if it does, where I have my stop loss is up here anyway. So no matter what, it's cool. I ain't tripping. Okay. Now, for some of you guys, remember I told you I created an SA up and an SA down. So basically, the SA down is where I will take go into my sexy analyst. And under the support and resistance, all I want to see, I don't want to see support, even though, it's helpful to let me know, hey, price action may bounce back up. But if I'm going to hold this thing for a long time, then I will take that out and I only want to see resistance. Okay. I only want to see that. Okay. Let me show you what I mean. And I saved the template because what it does, and this is what I was trying to show you guys in the live video yesterday, one of the biggest and easiest, and look at this one. Let me see this one. The scanner came out saying, you chef, I'm saying it like some of y'all now, and I am in this one right here. So here's an example, 15-minute time frame. And this is one that I am in on my prop firm challenge account right here. This is a perfect example. Here's the high. See, watch the yellow dots. That's why I take out the support dots, because if it's in a downtrend on the 4-hour, that's all I want to pay attention to. Okay, that's all I want to know. So here's the dots on the 4-hour time frame. Here's the dot on here. Is this not a high? And is this not this is a high point, meaning that, hey, it comes down, it goes up, hit a high point, drops down and creates another high point. but this high point is lower than this one. Would you guys agree? Type a yes if you agree. Okay. So by me targeting the first lower high on the 4-hour time frame, this is when I start getting into my trades and holding on to them for a while. Okay, until they start acting a little bit too funny. Then after that, I may get out. Okay, if I like for an example, if they just drop heck hard, I'm going to go ahead and take my money. But see, this is a basic trade that I would take. I will wait for the arrow come out, which you saw I did. And there you go. Put my stop above the previous high. Okay. And then I just let it do what it do. Okay. That's it. No, nothing magical. Let me show you another example. This one, I killed it this morning. I ate good off of this one. And this is an example. If it failed, when it failed like this, oh, I ate. I just get my money, get my money, get my money. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I close this one out. But see, all I'm doing is, here's the high point. You come up, bing, caught you right there at the lower high. Okay, here's another one. Came down, created a lower, here's a high point, but it's lower than this one. So I called it up here, put my stop. I didn't put it all the way up here. I just put it up here about 20 or 30 pips above here. And look what happened. If you're going to drop real hard like that, I'm just going to take my money. I don't want to hold the trade because I know eventually you're going to pull back up and retrace. So I just took my money. Okay, so that's all I do. First lower highs, anywhere after I realize you did this. Now, if we're looking at a buy trade, let's look at a buy trade, which, by the way, I hope this one pulls about. Right, let's see. I'm trying to find a lower high. I mean, a higher high. Let's see. Oh, I got to switch it over. That's why I'm not seeing it. All right. And again, you can save these as separate templates. Now that I'm looking for buys or higher highs, I'm going to put back in the white and put it in the yellow. Take out the yellow. Now, you don't got to do all this. This is just me. Bing. So now you guys can see what I'm looking at. What do you see? Here's the high point. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm specifically looking for if it's in an uptrend, and I need to know, how do I know if it's an uptrend or a downtrend? Because when the market is creating a downtrend, you have the highs, and then it'll drop, come back up, and you'll have here. Here's the high point. It'll drop, come back up, and here's another high point. But like I used to teach you guys all the time back in the day, the Stairmaster, just watch the video I shot yesterday. Here's a high point. This one is high, but it's still lower than the original. And once you start creating lower ones than the original, that means you're now officially in the downtrend. And the sooner I can get in on that downtrend, the better off I'll be as it's going down in different levels. So if you're a person who likes to hold your trades for a while, this is an excellent strategy for you because you're not trying to catch the high point. Okay, you're not trying to catch the tops, which is going to be problematic because a lot of times we're getting stopped out trying to chase the high point. Because you think the market, okay, this is it, and then it keeps going. But once it creates the first high, and then it drops, come back up and creates the next high, but it's lower than this one, you now officially know for sure that it is a downtrend. And it's the opposite for an uptrend, which is what we're looking at here. Here, we can see price came down, wicked right here. Here's the support, came up, dropped, here it is. Here's the low. Here's a low point, but the low point, the new one, is higher than this one. And then it came up, shot up big, came down, created another one. Okay, so every time it keeps shooting up, these big pips, that was 80-something pips, 90 pips. Take the money. Let the thing come back down. And as soon as it hits on here, bing, hit them again. 64 more pips. Get out, because it touched the trend line, dropped huge down here, and this is what I'm looking for. This is still higher than the original point, and it's still higher than this one. So I'm just playing them, and I'll take it on up. Bing, bing. Come on with it. Bing, bing. And I'm just playing the highs. Every time you come down here, I'm going to pop you. Why? Because now I truly know it's what kind of trend. What kind of trend is it? Once the bottom has been raised and established, and you start creating these higher, they call these higher lows. Why? Because this is a low point. This one is higher than this low point. So it's like you hitting. Let me give it to y'all. Let me give y'all something to help gnaw on this meat. Okay. Hey, YouTube family, how are you guys? Let me give y'all something to think about. Think about it like this, okay? And some of you guys really probably had a terrible 2024, and you just praying to God that 2025 doesn't be the same way. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen on that? You need things to be different this year. I'm going to teach you about charts, but I'm going to teach you about life. I was listening. There's a show on Netflix, and I can't remember the name, but it's this dude who, and they kept saying, oh, he's on this journey to this health journey. He takes like 58 pills a day. He's doing all this working out, and I forgot the name. My wife would know the name of it, but it's on. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna teach y'all something about life, and then you're gonna see these charts and understand exactly what I mean. Okay, you're gonna get it. I'm connecting two things together. Just hold tight. What's the name of it? Come on. It's called Don't Die. See, I knew it. We still got an hour and 30 minutes. First, I wasn't even interested in it. My wife, she's very healthy. She's much more healthier than me. Um, but she turned it on, and the guy's story caught my attention because, when initially they turned on the story, they was talking about this guy. He was a, very wealthy guy, and he's spending millions of dollars on his health, and, he's doing all these different things to try to last forever on the planet and blah, blah, blah. So just watch the show. And I thought it was going to be boring and bunk. So realistically, I had tuned it out. I was sitting there next to her because she liked me to watch TV with her, sitting next to her. But I was on my laptop and I was tuned her out. And then I was looking on YouTube, looking for my Country Wayne videos. I like them Country Wayne videos. They very dramatic, like it's funny. But anyway, the point is something he said caught my attention. And especially when he began to tell his story, because when you look at who he was and you look at who he is now, they look like two completely different people. I got to give him credit on that. Will I go as far as him? I don't know, but they're two completely different people. And part of the reason why is because he was the one who started. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this financial institution called Braintree. Anybody ever heard of that financial institution called Braintree? Anybody heard of that? No? Have you ever heard of Venmo? That payment app called Venmo, the alternative to PayPal. Anybody ever heard of Venmo? Okay. This is the guy who started Braintree and then merged and bought Venmo. So that's how he had, because I kept saying, I wonder what he does. That's all I want to know. I don't care about all you eating 58 vitamins a day and this and that. I really wasn't caring about that. That didn't really ring my bell. That rings Nancy's bell, but not me. But when he said that that's what he did, he ended up developing Braintree and then bought Venmo. That's the guy. So no wonder he was so financially wealthy. But when you look at his previous pictures, he had looked a lot older. He was a lot heavier in weight. And even though you would assume that he was, since he's wealthy, from starting Braintree and Venmo, and I'm explaining the charts. Listen to what I'm saying. You would think because he's wealthy, because he started Venmo and Braintree, he got money, he got staff, he's successful. They would say he had one of the fastest growing companies in the United States several years in a row. Highly successful, but in his personal life, he was highly miserable and depressed. It is possible to be highly successful and to be depressed. And that's what's him. That's why his weight was bad and everything else. So if you watch it, you'll see his before and after, completely two different people. Okay. So why am I bringing this guy up? Because he had hit a low point in his life, very, very low point, as some of us hit all, it may happen to everybody. I certainly happened to me. In fact, I was called on to teach a class to a group of guys this past weekend, and we were kind of discussing things. And I end up telling my story, and some of the guys there were my support group during that time. When I told you guys, I'm not making up stories. When I told you I used to own millions of dollars of real estate, and I was on television, speaking engagements, buying new cars, new houses, all these different things. I was the man. And then I had my Job experience. It's like everything about my life got turned upside down. And the lowest point for me was when the sheriffs came knocking on my door, and I didn't expect them. I'm living in my 7,000 square foot house, and police is showing up at my door. I'm like, what's going on? Just one thing after another, one thing after another, one thing after another. And then they show up at the door knocking, and they tell this person, me, you and your children got 1 week to move. And that was the lowest point. That was like the final straw. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Type a yes if you hear what I'm saying. I want to make sure you guys getting this. And yes, I'm talking about the chart, so stick with the story. That was very low. And what I was teaching on is about how there's two kingdoms we live in, the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. Kingdom of darkness means ignorance. And so devil plays on what you don't know. He uses it to his advantage to crucify your soul, to make you feel like you're nothing. And you begin to agree with him, and that's where the problem comes in. It's not that you're not nothing, it's that you feel like nothing, and you believe that you're nothing because that's what he wants you to believe about yourself at your lowest point of life. The light comes in saying, no, you're just needing some new information. That's what light means in that situation. I am light. I came to bring light. Well, it doesn't mean sunshine, it means knowledge. You are missing something. And the moment you get this information, your life will turn around. I am speaking charts as well. Do not abandon the story. Because for some of you guys, you've been trading for a long time, but you're just missing a little bit of knowledge. And one of these classes you're going to attend, and once you get it, you're going to get it, and you're going to be good from here. Okay? This is why it's not good to quit. Okay? It's not good to quit because you're going to quit at the wrong time. You may have to change your plans. You may have to change how you do things, but it don't mean to quit. So anyway, getting back to the story. So just like him, he was highly successful, but he was miserable. So he ended up selling those companies. He ended up losing his family, got divorced and everything else. He just fell hard. What am I explaining? Hard points. He hit a low. And it just kept on falling, cascading. The good news is, at some point, that fall is going to stop, and you're going to hit what they call, quote unquote, rock bottom. Rock bottom is just that. There's rocks at the bottom. In other words, that can be your turning point, because when you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else to go but which way? Type. Type. There's nowhere to go but up. I'm already at the bottom. So you can't take me no lower than that. Whether it's mentally, physically, whatever. I'm already at the bottom. So if I'm at the bottom, there's nowhere else for me to go but up. Unless I die, then there's a little bit lower called 6 feet under. Okay? But as long as you're breathing, the low point is the low. And looking at these charts, just like life, all it takes is just one opportunity, and all of a sudden, boom, you get your first break. And that's what happened here. This thing hit its low point, then boom, you get a little break, 70 pips. But then guess what happens? Life comes and slaps you back down. But here's the good news. You shot up from here. Watch this. This shot up, 72 pips. Okay. You got slapped back down, but that slap down only took you down 60 pips. Okay. You made 72, but you got slapped down 60. How many pips you got left over? How many pips you still got in your pocket? Talk to me. 72 minus 60. How many pips is that? 72 minus 60. Okay, hold on. 72 minus 60. 12. 12. Okay, this is life. You're at the rock bottom, but you finally get a little breather. So you feel a little okay, but then life slaps you again. But here's the good news. You already touched the bottom. So even though you're getting slapped around, guess what happens? You can't slap me all the way back down, or what we call in the Forex market, what do we call it? A retest, just to make sure this is the support. And that's what's going on in the markets, and that's what's happening with some of y'all. You already hit your rock bottom in 2024. Yeah, you're going to get slapped around like here, but guess what? It ain't going to be all the way back down. So when you do fall down, try not to get too discouraged, because guess what? Tell God, thank you for helping me to get through the bottom. But guess what? When I come back down, I understand I can handle the bottom. I've already been at the bottom. So this one here, I can handle it better. And look what happened. From here, that thing popped on up, another 80-some pips. Now you back in the game. But guess what happens? Like life, it slapped back down again. 54 pips, 87 from 54. You're still positive. Then that thing popped up again from here to here, 60-something pips, okay? You took your money. This time you're smart. You realize every time I'm getting yanked down, but I get shot back up, I'm going to take something off the table so I got something in storage so that when I get this pull back in life, I ain't completely empty like I used to be. See, here, when I fell down and I was empty. I had nothing left. Now I'm learning that when God blesses me with these little opportunities, let me keep a little something in storage. Because I know, guess what? Satan ain't done with me. There's going to be a pullback. Man, I got something in my pocket. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? Type of yay, man, if you hear what I'm saying. And if you really want to play the game right, here's how we playing it, which is what I'm doing. Okay? Hold on. I already told this camera don't move. Don't follow me. Here's what I'm doing. Every time you pop up 74 pips, hold on one second, y'all. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Did my wife give you our son's number? Because it's a. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right. Can I get you? Can I hit you back? I'm actually got students literally on. I'm teaching a class online, and they're right here. Yeah, yeah, no worries. All right, all right. Sorry about that, y'all. See, my son, he going through a little. Not y'all never met our other son, Noah, but anyway, he's with a mechanic for his Lexus. So anyway, here's the deal. Every time this thing goes up a significant amount, I may take most of my money off the top because I'm wise enough to know when this thing, I'm expecting a what? What are we expecting when this thing shoots up real big? What are we expecting? What is going to automatically happen? See, you caught me off guard and got me all the way to the bottom. And part of the reason I'm at this bottom is because I got caught off guard. I wasn't expecting all this to happen. But now that I'm wiser, I didn't hit the bottom. Now at the bottom, it gives me time to think. And what I'm thinking is next time I get up, guess what? I ain't going to try to go for a home run. I'm going to start learning to take something off the table. So when you do automatically do what? What's going to happen after a big fire up? When it pops up real big, what is it going to do? Okay, I got somebody on YouTube, WebZ. Yep, retrace. It's going to pull back. I'm expecting you to do that now. I'm not surprised when you do it. See, down here, I didn't know no better. Now I know how you work. So I know when you give me these opportunities, I'm going to take something off. That's 75 pips. And we got a lot of people who will not take a dime. And so the thing comes all the way back down and they lose everything because guess what? They didn't learn. They still stubborn. Don't go into 2025 being greedy. Okay? You can leave a running piece, meaning that you can close out a small portion of the trade. But guess what? Guess what? Don't leave everything on the table so that you can feel like you're making progress. So even if you made 75 pips, take 50 of that off the table. Take half of your money off. So when it does that natural pullback, you say, okay, well, at least I got something in the bank to show for my work. And I don't feel like I'm just playing a video game and I'm always losing. Because after a big move, I automatically know what's going to happen. Somebody type of amen. I know what you're finna do to me. You finna try to attack me again. And instead of me complaining about these attacks, I need to normalize it because I know this is the normal. This is how it works. I didn't know at first, but I know this time. I got a prop firm account, and I blew 50 of them last year, but I know this year, guess what? I'm going to take something off the table because if you do pull back, which I'm expecting, at least I got something banked versus always paying these prop firms for a new account. Not this year. I'm wiser this year. I'm going to trade better this year. I'm going to be a little more patient this year. And I know that every trade is not going to work out this year. So therefore, I'm going to be smart. And I'm not going to put big lot sizes on these trades either because I know anything can happen in this market this year. You caught me off guard last year and got me into depression over this trading stuff. But devil, you a lie. I'm smarter this year. Somebody type a 50 in the box if you understand exactly what I'm talking about. That's right, John. You said Biggie Small said, if you don't know, now you know. You're not going to get me this year. Because part of this depression that I fell into over this trading stuff, part of that was the devil, and part of that was just me being silly, jumping into trades that clearly were not efficient, clearly not good looks. Because I just felt the need to be in the trade. I'm in a hurry to quit my job. I'm in a hurry to do this. I got things to do. I need this money. I got to make this happen. I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm seeing everybody else, and that's why I'm trying to make it happen. And here's the truth. It may happen for everybody else, but you may be on a different timeline. So slow it down. You are not competing against anybody but you. Yeah, this person just made 55,000 on one trade. Yeah, but how long have they been trading? That's the part they don't share with you. They've been trading for years with no money. Just like you. The only difference is they finally found their niche and they didn't quit. Now they're trading from big old accounts. So yeah, of course, for them, $50,000, $25,000 per trade. I mean, you're dealing with large accounts. So yeah, it's nothing. If you keep it in perspective, 10% of $1 million account is going to be, of course, different from 10% on a $1,000 account. So don't try to compare apples to oranges. Stay in your lane. Humble yourself. Learn from the mistakes we made from last year. Okay? Don't repeat them because, again, watch what I say. The kingdom of darkness, it doesn't mean dark because if the Bible is saying he's the prince of darkness, the devil is the prince of darkness, that means evil will only happen at nighttime. But we clearly know evil happens day and night. So it is not about physical light. It's about knowledge. That's what it was saying. Darkness means you're lacking knowledge. And many of you guys are lacking knowledge in these markets. That's why you come to class. Others of you are lacking discipline because you have no self-control. You really can teach this class yourself, but because the lack of self-control and your lack of discipline and your lack of not being able to control yourself with the lot sizes you're using, that's the reason why you're constantly being sent back to repeat the class over and over and over again. It's not that you don't know, it's just that you have a self-control issue. And because of that lack of self-control, Satan is attacking your head, telling you you're not good at anything. And trading last year got you into all the way into depression. Why? Because he took advantage of your lack of knowledge and lack of discipline. This year, you have to do your part. You can pray, but God still needs you to do your part because you're the ones clicking these buttons. You're the one choosing these lot sizes. You're the one clearly picking trades that you know ain't a good fit. So for me, I'm going to be even more heavily attached to the scanner because it helps me to not haphazardly jump into trades that just ain't a good fit. I'll wait for this to send me a notification and then I'll take my time and look at it. And here's the good part. If, and let me mark this up. Let me put something right here so y'all can see what I mean. We're on the 4-hour time frame, okay? Let me jump right here. Go back, see if we can find this one. Why to the freaking lie? Look at who popped up here. See, the scanner told me here's a buy entry. Get in here, stop below the previous low. That's only 22 pips. That first spark up was 52 pips. Win, 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 baby. Win, 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 baby. And look at this huge move to the upside. What should I be expecting this year? If it shoots up big, what should I expect it to do? Type. Come on, y'all talk to me now. Am I talking to myself? Come on, thank you, Rob. I expect a pullback. So here's what you ain't gonna do this year that you've been doing last year, being greedy. You made 50 pips. Take at least half off the table because we're expecting a what? Pullback. Now here's what you did last year. Here it is. God blessed you. You got greedy. Oh, I'm gonna wait for this thing to go. Okay, keep on, hold on. 50 pips. Then it drops all the way down here. You crying because now guess what? You only got 3 pips at this point, and you're crapping in your pants. That's what you did last year because you're trying to go for the home run. Did the home run hit? Sure did. It popped right on back up and eventually went all the way up for 88 pips. But here's what you could have did. Take some here, at least half. When it pulls back, okay, not a big deal because you're only pulling back on half of what I had in there. Because guess what? My stop was still here. You can leave your stop exactly where it is or put it at break even. Okay, which means it would have been here. You would have got stopped out. That's fine. But at least you got what? 25 pips in the bag. Even if you got stopped out, I got stopped out with 25 pips in the bag. So you ain't getting me like you did last year. Why? Because he rules over ignorance. Ignorance. That's why they call him the Prince of Darkness. It means ignorance. He was tapping into your ignorant self, being too greedy. God blessed you and you took nothing off the table because you wanted all of that money. Learn not to repeat the same mistakes. Take profit off the table and use smaller lot sizes. Period. Period. If you do not control that part of your game plan, then guess what? You deserve another year like last year. Because those are 2 things that's under your control. What the market does, you have 0 control over that. Mentally, I'm not in the dark to believe that every trade that is taken is going to be a winner. Write that down. Mentally, I believe that I know for sure. What is the word? Know. What is that? Light. Kingdom of light. God gives you knowledge. The word knowledge, root word of knowledge is know. The root word of knowledge is know. You know better this year. Type of 100 if I'm preaching truth up in here. I should be having 5,000 students up in here since it's a free class. I never charge for it, but I guarantee you ain't going nowhere to hear something like this. You can search all YouTube channels. You'll never hear nobody tell you this truth. Because everybody wants a strategy, which is fine. I get it. What's the edge? Part of this edge is simply just this. Don't repeat your same mistakes from last year. I think they want me to have $10,000 on this prop firm account for this 100K account. I think I'm at 7,000 or 7,500, whatever it is, and I could have tried to pass it in 1 week, last week. Terrible markets. I could have tried to pass it, but I'm happy with myself that I got the account up by 70 some hundred, along with the other trades from from my team. Okay. And wins and losses were in there, but I'm still up. And so you think about it like this, guys. If I'm up $7,000 in a matter of 2 weeks on one account, watch the math. If I have 10 100K accounts and each one I was able to do even $5,000 a month on it, how much money do I make in a month? $5,000 on a 100K account in a month, not a week, not a day, like some, see, trying to be in a hurry. I'm willing to take my time and say, even with my expert self that I think I'm very good at charts, if I hit 10, praise God. But even if I hit 5 times 10, or let's do it like this, 50 times 10 is how much? Or do the math. Let's do it a little bit better. Let's do it on screen. $5,000, let me do it like that, times 10 accounts equals how much a month? Talk to me. Rob, I knew you. Rich, you got it. Which, by the way, Rich, that's the word. Rich. Y'all like that? See, I don't need to go big on every account. I don't need to hit home runs. Oh, I got two cameras right here. I'm sorry, this one. I don't need to hit home runs. And if you got a 100K account, I don't need to hit a home run. Small base hits that leads to $5,000 a month on a 100K account. That's only 5% a month. 5% a month over 10 accounts equals $50,000 of income. I just have to not repeat the same dumb mistakes as last year, which is what? Being greedy, holding trades way too long, not taking my blessing. I don't care if it's 20 pips, take the 20. And putting lot sizes that just keeps blowing the prop firm accounts. Because I'm in a hurry to pass this prop firm accounts. I can't tell you the number of people who join us, who ran through our services, because guess what? Every time we have like last week, it was really high risk trading because, there was really no banks and institutions that infuses real money into the markets to stabilize it. And even this week, at the beginning of the week, you can see it's a little turbulent. That is natural. And people never look at it as, okay, can we take a look at what the Super Easy team done over the entire span of a year? They keep looking at it every single trade. And I can't tell you the number of people who quit and keep coming back, quit and keep coming back, quit and keep coming back. Why? Because they keep doing the same thing, expecting every trade to be a home run. And so they sit there and take every trade, put these excessive lot sizes, and then when the markets do what they normally do, which is they're going to have turbulent times. Amen. Somebody type of amen. Don't play like you ain't never traded during turbulent times. It happens to everybody, rich or poor. I'm more entertained listening to the wealthy people in my several groups that I'm a part of who said, man, I lost some big trades this week. They don't put it out there on YouTube to y'all, but I thank God that I'm in these groups because when I'm hitting a couple of losses, I don't have to feel bad either. because I realized it's just the market doing what it do. And it doesn't matter whether you're a successful trader who's been trading for 30 years or somebody who just started trading last week. It doesn't care. The market goes donkers when certain things happen. But as long as I'm controlling my lot size, knowing that if I'm in 4 trades and I'm risking $500 each, and I have a daily balance of $3,000 that I cannot go below. If I have 4 trades, $500 each, if every single one of those trades lose, then that means I'm only going to lose $2,000 on that account, and I'm not even near blowing my account. Somebody take a man in the box. You see the thinking process? Preserving the account. I don't want to pay for another challenge. So I'm not trying to even come close to my daily drawdown limit. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Because if I get 10 100K accounts and I only make $5,000 a month on each, which is easy to do, very easy, that's only 5%. If I can earn 5% and I got 10 accounts that's being copied on every trade and I earn 5%, I'm making $50,000 a month, people. And you times that by 12, how much money did I make in a year? Sitting on my flat butt cheeks, chilling. I'm a guy, I got the pancake cheeks. Nancy got the apple bottom. I got the flat cheeks. It's a flat, you pork. No, I'm just playing. I got a little something back there. I'm just playing. I'm just making it, bringing light to the show. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? Do you see the game plan? Do you see the game plan? All right, let's do some numbers again. Let's go here. And then I'll go back to the charts. Didn't mean to get sidetracked. You got a 25K account. Okay. That's what you can afford. Don't worry about that. Start where you can start. 25K account. Okay. And you have 10 of them eventually over time, over the year, 10 of them. Okay. So you got a 25K account. So basically you're controlling $250,000 worth of trading money. All right. So let's just say you earn $1,000 times, times 10. How much are you making a month? You're just making $1,000 a month on one account, but you copying them on 10 accounts. How much are you making from home? How much is that? Isn't that life changing for some of you guys? Type a yes. Let me know. Don't let me think I'm out here by myself now. See, you don't need to go big. That's what I'm telling you. Control what you can control. Take some profit off the table. Control your lot size this year. And just go small. Base hits. All I need is a couple of base hits because all I'm going for is $1,000 on this 25K account for the whole month, not in a week, a whole month. That's all I need is just $1,000 in a whole month. And then eventually I have 10 of these, and then I'm making $10,000 a month only doing $1,000 per account on one account, and it copies over to the other. So whatever, if I make 1,000 on this account without blowing it, then it translates over to 10 accounts. Guess what I just did? I got $10,000 a month taking easy trades, which means I don't even have to trade every day, which leads to something else. With my trading style, one of the things that I'm going to start working on, especially if you're looking at support and resistance levels, supply and demand zones, I literally, the reason I'm exhaustedly tired, I wanted to just constantly double check this. New Year's adjustments. I promise y'all, I'm so tired, but it's necessary. I said for my trading style that I really like, trend trading in the school, but for what I really like, I'm always been a reversal trader, supply and demand zone, support and resistance trader. I realized, guess what? If I get up and I literally watched the markets do this morning, they were looking good, looking good, looking good. 3 o'clock, After London, it was still okay. And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. But guess what? It's still just like I've been observing. Do your own homework, do your own due diligence. But here's what happened. The markets went way down, way, way down. So whether you was a buyer or seller on any of these things, the market manipulated itself and it didn't slow down until, watch this. This big home run hitter that I got last night, I literally watched it. Hold on. Let me do an essay down. So I'm going to my sexy analyst and I'm going to switch colors. I'm just going over a couple of things this year. All right, so I just want to see the down. So you can save this template. So you can say, hey, this is essay down. So you can say sexy down. See? And just say these templates. So all I want to see, I don't want to see support levels. I just want to see resistance. Why? Because when I'm looking at this from this 4-hour time frame, I want to see who's creating these lower highs. Here's a high point, then it dropped big, came back up, created another high point, dropped, came and touched another high point, dropped, came and touched another high point, and let's put a little line right here. Oops. Lord have mercy, I didn't mean to do that. Jesus. Okay, right there. And here's the funny thing about it. Sometimes you're going to get an arrow and sometimes you're not. And this is something else I've been playing with. What if I don't get an arrow? It's okay. I still see that you're going to cluster right here. And all I have to do is use a stop above the previous high and I'm still okay. Okay. So what if you don't get an arrow? That's fine. As soon as you see it stopping, I'm still going to get in that thing. And that's what I did. And I had a major drop. Okay. But look at what it did first. It dropped, came back and retested again. What time? Around 6 o'clock. I said, man, if I just get up at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 to 6:30, and I'm going to start doing that this year. And because I realized, okay, these things are still pulling back. And around 6:30, that thing, I woke up, I was like, man, I could have got in around 6 so I can sleep better overnight. I ain't staying up all night worrying about no trades. Some of you guys, that alone is the blessing of you being here. If you're going to be one of these kind of traders, guess what? I clearly know this is a downtrend because guess what? We got lower highs. So now every time you stop at these blocks, okay, let's see what you do. Okay. Everybody understand what I'm saying? I'm giving you game. And Rich, he said, having multiple prop firms helps mitigate risk substantially because you don't need huge lot sizes. That's exactly the point. By the way, hello. I got to get me a new camera, by the way. I want to start doing some real YouTube stuff. I got to get me a whole setup. This camera is cool. It's clearer than the second camera I got right here, but it's an AI camera, so it'll be trying to follow me. I don't like all that. By the way, here's something I found out, and again, take this with a grain of salt, do your own due diligence. But with 2 T's, cheats. But here's something that I just found out. I got an email the other day from Blue Guardian, and again, there may be other prop firms. Find the one that you feel comfortable with. Don't take my word for it. But they just sent out something that they started this year, which is instant accounts. You don't even have to do prop firm challenges no more. They said you can go straight to being a funded trader. And so I looked at, for me, wanting 100K accounts, because those are more comfortable for me. I know my proclivities, having small lot sizes just bothers me because I've been doing this for so long. Okay, if you're starting out small lot sizes, start with a 25K account and use, 0.05, 0.10, be comfortable with that. But for me, I've been just doing this for so long until I feel like, okay, I'm too stagnant with that. So I cough up the additional funds to get me a 100K account, which is I feel comfortable in that range using those because I use 1 to 1.5 lot size on a 100K account. That's what I do. And the average is about $500 per trade. Okay. $500 per trade, which means a daily loss limit is $3,000. At $500, that means I can lose up to almost 6 trades and still not blow my account, which of course I'm not going to lose 6 trades. Okay. So that gives me more than enough comfortability for me, but you got to pick whatever floats your boat. But they did send something out saying that they are now having instant funded accounts. Okay. Which I'm going to do an instant funded account next week. And then that'll be account number 2. So I got this prop firm account. Once I pass that one, that's fine. But then I'm just going to do another instant account, and that'll be 100. So I'll be automatically controlling $200,000 worth of capital. Okay. And they're only charging, and they sent me a 30% off coupon, BG30 or something like that. And it's going to put at basically $500 for a 100K instant funded account. No more challenge, which I'm happy with that, because guess what? That 7K that I made already over the last week and a half, that actually could have been real capital already. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Everybody, I'm trying to give y'all game for the new year, but we got to get our heads right, people, because God can give you a blessing. You can still screw it up. So I'm giving you game this year. And we should have had 1,000 people in here listening to this information. But hey, praise God for the people who came. Because I promise you, across the globe, traders of all ages and stages need to have been here to hear this class. Guaranteed. It would have made all the difference for their new year. I guarantee a lot of them are not going to have a different year than what they had last year, because they did not attend this class. So praise God for God allowing you to be here and hear what the strategy is. If you have a 10,000, a 10K account, that's all you can afford is a 10K account. Not a problem. Here's your goal for the month: $500. Just make $500 on that 10K account. That's all you need. Okay. If you times $500 times 10 counts, how much are you making a month? And for some of you guys, that's better than your job. And that's just on the 10K account. Just $500 for the month. Don't try to go for $500 in one trade. That's where you've been making your mistake. You want this to be your monthly goal. Write that down. You're targeting monthly goals. So you don't need every trade to be a home run. You can lose several trades, and as long as you get to that $500 in the month, you're good. This is where the mistake has been made across the globe. If you agree with me, type a 1,000 in the box. This is where the problem was, and nobody's talking about it. And the prop firms are getting wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. Because what the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. And last year you were perishing, not just in your pockets, but in your soul. And the word soul means your mind, your will, and your emotions. Everything about your emotional state has been in turmoil. Financial stress has just been wearing you the heck out. Why? Because while you stressing over that money, Satan is what? Prince of darkness. He's constantly feeding you lies. Okay? Constantly feeding you lies. Tapping into your ignorance. Yeah, you about to go down for the count. Yep, you about to be on the streets. Yep, you about to lose that job and you ain't got nothing else. And he's constantly just reinforcing the fear you already have. And God says there's a plan this year if you follow your part of it. Do not go for home runs. How many believe, even with your skill set, that right now, if you had a 10K account, that you're able to make at least $500 for the whole month? And let's take $500. Let's look at this. If we did $500 divided by 25 trading days, that's $20 a day. How many of you believe you can make $20 a day? Just 20. If that means you're really going to slow down on your trades and you're really going to look for the best opportunities just to make $20 a day, how many of you think this is doable? Come on, talk to me now. Do you think you can make $20? That's all, just $20 a day. Just $20 a day. Y'all on YouTube, do you think it's possible? Just starting at $20 a day. And that'll put you at your $500 a month goal. And then the more prop firms accounts or personal accounts, however you want to do it, that you want to add, you're going to copy. They're going to be copied on every trade you get. And how I'm doing mine, I got it connected through Traders Connect. So I got all my accounts coming in. So the trades that are being sent out from the copycat, they're going into one main account. And from that main account, they're dripping into all of my prop firm accounts. And all I'm doing is going into Traders Connect and adding another account, adding another account, adding another account, adding another account. $20 a day times 25 trading days equals $500 a month. $500 a month times 10 accounts equals $5,000. And a lot of these $10,000 prop firm accounts are like less than $100. So it's very doable for anybody. And again, for me, I'm moving forward with uh, uh, this prop firm that allows instant funding, which means instead of me wasting my time going through trying to prove that I can trade, I'm instantly going to get funding. Because again, the 7,000 that I've already made in the last week and a half, that actually could have been real income. And for me, if I would have just, even if I stopped right now and did nothing more for the month, $7,000 times 10 accounts would have equaled $70,000 a month on 10 accounts. See, I don't even have to trade for the whole month. I could have stopped right now. Type of 45 in the box that this class is helping you to see things a little bit differently from last year. Yes, iPhone said that I was on point because they just lost a 10K account because they were trying to go for home runs. This is why this class is going to be different. This is why this is different. And I promise you, this got to be for somebody out there because guess what? I had no plans on talking about this. But God knows better. This is why it's good that we prayed before we started class. Let God come in and talk to all of us so that we can have a game plan to set ourselves apart from everything that we've done in previous years. Whatever happened in previous years is gone. We can't do nothing about it. If you've got a prop firm account, a 10K prop firm account, you're just trying to get $20 a day. That's all you need to have $500 a month. Take that and times that by 10 accounts, which is what you're going to go throughout the year. Your goal is to have 10 accounts making $500 a month on the main account and let it be copied on all the rest. And guess what? You're making $5,000 a month now from the markets. Very doable. Just making $20 a day. Some of you guys, you're going to waste more money than that on restaurants. I go to some of the most terrible restaurants. I love the area I live and all the different things. It's very entertaining, but they do not have good restaurants. But I like going out and eating by the water and this and that. And, you know, on average, you're talking about 60 to $100, especially with my tipaholic wife. Terrible service, but her little sweetheart, she just got to me. Well, they work so hard, honey. They didn't work hard today for me. And here she go. And she literally will pull out a calculator, making sure she's giving them 28, 30%, 40% this. Like, doggone, we just had them invite the waiter or waitress to sit down at our table. Let me just buy them a meal too. So by the time we get done with the tip is half the bill. So every time we go out, I already know it's the meal plus half the bill for tip. I took it to Cheesecake Factory the other day. Guess what? Half the bill plus half of that bill is basically it's going to be the person's tip, or one third of it, whatever. She's just a generous, hearty person. I love her, but yeah, I ain't that. You know. So for me, $100, man, I could have bought me a 10K prop firm challenge, or two of them, depending on which prop firm I'm going with. Okay. Yes, Derek said even the banks make slow money. Yes, they will be thrilled to do 5% a month. They don't even do They be promising their people 5%, 10% a year, and you doing 5% a month. Let me hurry up and cover something else real quick. So that's our goal, okay? Here's what I'm looking at. Hopefully this thing is still riding at the bottom. And this was a good example. And I even did a video about this one where I showed y'all, okay? And it did do on Sunday's video exactly what I said it was going to do. I said this one's going to pop up, and it did. But here's a fine example. Look what happened. It hit there, 84 pips. And even me, I was like, man, I want to hold this thing. I know it's going to go, 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 go. And I said, So I took some money off the table, and then the thing dropped. Okay. And yes, I still hanging on to my original, but then it dropped all the way back. See, this was a perfect example. If I would have held on to everything and then dropped all the way back here, I would have been mad as firecrackers. But I was smart this time. So with some of the other money that happened on this pullback, waiting for that 15-minute arrow. Once I get that arrow, I reinvest and buy a second position on this pullback. Now I got two, the half from the original and the new one, and let that thing go. Let it go, baby. And I believe if it pops off from here, this is the retest of the bottom on the 4-hour time frame. So therefore, chances of it, if it stays and be able to maintain this low, okay, if it maintains it, and let's switch over, okay. Watch this. Y'all will see what I'm saying. See, just take some money up off that table, man. I ain't being greedy. There you go. See, so then I could say this is sexy high. Why? Because I'm going for higher highs. So I got a sexy low and a sexy high. Or a sexy, what we call it, sexy high. Because I'm using the sexy analyst trading system, so it's sexy high. Y'all can see that support dot right there. Bing, bing, bing. It's right there, right in front of your face. Right in your face. And look at this. Here's the original low. This one is slightly higher. It's still slightly higher. What does that mean? What does that mean? Long as news don't pop it and NFP don't pop it this week, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're looking at it. What does that mean, people? What does that mean? Come on now. Don't tell me I've been teaching for nothing. What does this mean? Okay, Rich says a bounce up. What does this mean? Use the term. I'm waiting for you guys to use the term. What does this mean? Somebody got to know it. Higher low. That's what I was looking for, Alpha. Thank you. William, you got it, support, but that was the term I'm looking for. We created a higher low. That means we have officially started an uptrend. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. It's officially an uptrend. As long as it stays here today and throughout this week, we officially have now an uptrend. Because what creates an uptrend? Higher highs. Here's a high point. Here's the bottom. Then you have it goes up, pulls back, and where it stops at is higher than the original low point. Okay, so that means it's now going to start climbing, and we're getting in at the bargain basement. Hey, hey, hey! Look at that. See them little dots hidden behind there? Ooh, juicy, juicy. Okay. Ooh. All right. Let's look at something. Let me show you over here. One example, and we'll wrap up class. That one is way up there, but you still see it. Here's the low. See, comes up, high, low, goes up. These lows, and they never got lower than this one. And they went up, and you're walking upstairs like I used to teach Stairmaster. And see, boom, 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 boom. And this thing just constantly created new higher lows, which means it was an official uptrend. What if you would have caught the second uptrend way down here? Okay, let me see if I can find one. All right. So here's one where we say this is the low, come up, bing, come up, bing. See, you're literally just walking upstairs. What if you would have had this one down here at the retest and had a small part, because once it jumped up and then pulled back, you still closed out half of it. And now you can reinvest that other half now into this. And boom, bing, 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 bing. Okay, let me see if I can find one. I'm looking for something specific. Nope, you're not it. Go over here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Perfect example. Here it is. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the low point. Low goes up and creates the first lower high. See? Here's a high. Here's a low point. Goes up, creates a higher. How do you know? Because the sexy analyst told me so. That's why I told you, get the sexy analyst. It's already pre-built in. You can change these dots to whatever color you want, as thick as you want, but it lets me know, here's the dots. This one is higher. This row of dots right here is higher than this one. That means we have an official uptrend from the 4-hour perspective. 4-hour or the daily, but I like the 4-hour. And clearly that means if I got in on this one, I'll set my stop loss below the previous one and let it do what it do. And look what happened. It never came back. Bing, 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 and all the way up. And look, from here to here, 962 pips later. But on the initial move, and when it went up, pulls back from here, goes up, pulls back. I'm taking half my money on this initial move. I'm taking half my money. You pull back, that's cool. Now here, I can take some of that money and reinvest it into another position, put my stop right here. This is what I'm doing on this one here, because it's doing the same thing. It's creating a lower high. And I'll look at the EuroCAD. See, here's this. I already took money off the table. I still have a small part, but this is what I did. Reinvest right here. So as soon as the scanner say NZD, USD, you got a buy arrow on the 15-minute. I'm going to take some of that money that I closed out on half over here, reinvest it back, and go from there. The good news is the stop loss is going to be minimal. But if this thing does just like this one did, I'm going to hang on for the ride from here because it has nowhere else to go. But like I said, even with your life, if you were at the bottom, you hit rock bottom, don't give up here, because guess what? You ain't got nowhere else to go but up from there, just like the charts. You just got to change the way you were going about doing life. Drinking, smoking, cussing people out, weed heading, argumentative in your relationships. Just change this year. Not only the way you're looking at these charts and doing business, not just trying to go for home runs, but I'm going to clean up a lot of different things, God, in my life so that I will not have to visit this spot ever again. And when you bring me up slowly, one step at a time, I can be proud of myself this year because I'm not the same man or woman that I was last year. Not only did you give me opportunities to step out of the muck and the mire that I lived through in previous years, but I also put in my effort to say I'm willing to change some things about me. And if you're talking strictly about trading, I heard what Uncle P said. I cannot control the markets, but the one thing I can do is stop going for home runs and control my lot size. So if you give me a blessing on some pips, I'm going to take a little money off the table. I ain't going to try to hold forever because it could come all the way back down. We don't know. But if it does, I'm okay because I did take some of that money off the table. I wasn't greedy. Number two, I did control the lot size I used because I'm not being what? Greedy. And I'm not going to blow another prop firm account because I'm going too big and hard in the paint. I'm willing to slow roll this thing because like Uncle P said, all I need to make $500 is $20 a day. Over $500 in a month times 10 accounts, that's $5,000. Yes, I can pay a lot of bills like that. So the bottom line is last year I was being too much in a hurry. This year I'm going to take my time. Let's look at this EuroCAD. See if it's worth anything. Okay. We got a 15-minute arrow. Okay. Ooh, nice. Go to the 4-hour. I see why it's bouncing. But see, here's an example. Is this an uptrend or downtrend at this point? Uptrend or downtrend? Here's a good example. Uptrend or downtrend? This is a good example. Okay. Look at where it is. Look where price action is. Okay. It has now made it to the other side. Looks like it's now going back up. So would this be a good trade to take a little something, something? Me personally, I would leave it alone because it looks like it went all the way down, but I do see it hitting support. This says it is an uptrend still. Okay. If you're confused, go to the daily. At the end of the day, from this daily perspective, what do we see? What is your analysis of this? Is this something you like? Watch me closely. Is this something you like? Yes or no? William says no. Anybody else? Rob says no. Brandon says yes. Reg says no. Rich says it looks like it's all over the place. Derek says no. The truth of the matter is, what did I always teach him in the tutorials? When in doubt, what do? There you go. I don't know for sure. So guess what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to waste my $20 opportunity on a trade that I'm not sure about. So when in doubt, I'm just going to stay out. So that's the answer for me. First of all, it already popped up rig. That's cool. I'm checking the 4 hour time frame, and I do see that what it's possibly doing, and I do believe it will go up. Okay. If I was, that's a 73 pip stop. Okay. First of all, that's a little too much for me. I don't want that much. Okay. If it even hits up into here to the daily high, the average daily range is 71. So, no. And it's an accordion. It's all over. Cat scratching. It's all over the place. So, is this something I like? No. No. Okay. Not for me. I got $20 to make on my $100 account. Oh, I'm sorry, on my 10K account. If you got a 10K account, I got to only make $20. You ain't the best candidate. So, I'll wait for the next arrow. That's a perfect example. Now, this one here, if you give me an arrow down here on the 15-minute, this is really nice because it's still close to the lower high. My stop is going to be low. I'll wait. Plus, it's not cat scratching. It's done. Here it is. I'm waiting for it to go up. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this one. Here's the low point. This created a higher low. That's a little better. See, the arrow came in. Your stop would have been right there. That's a little bit better. Okay. A little bit better. So the point is, if you don't feel comfortable, don't take the trade. $20 a day is your goal, which means you can afford to be picky. Don't take everything that flies your way because you got $20 to make today. Unless you're in a copycat, then it's our responsibility to get you about $20 a day. Okay. Everybody clear on what I'm saying? Yes. Everybody with me? We can close here. I know we've been here for a little bit. Everybody clear on the plan? No home runs, no big lot sizes. We're going to take our goal in bite-sized pieces because eventually you're going to try to get to 10 accounts, like Dr. Elvis had been telling us all along, and you can see his rationale. Okay. Which, by the way, Dr. Elvis has 50 accounts. 50. Okay. 50 accounts. He has 50. So imagine you just make $100 a day times 50. That's 5,000 a day times 25 trading days. Can you see how much he's making a month on 50 accounts? You times that by 12 months. And that's why he has several homes already paid off. I think he's up to 4 houses paid off. And y'all seeing him doing his Rastafarian videos thinking the man ain't got nothing. I met his whole family. That's a smart guy, Dr. Elvis. So that's why he ain't tripping off of losses. because the goal is to get a certain amount per day, regardless of how it gets done. This is the amount. And if you can't get it done that day, then guess what? Try again tomorrow. Because even if you get half of this, let's divide it in half and say, okay, I didn't reach my goal. I only made half. Divided by 2. This is what you're still making a year. That's what he's making, even if he hits half its daily goal. Half on 50 accounts. So your goal is just 10. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is why the mentality of my copycat team is different, and it threw people off when we brought in clients, because we've been trading for years. We know how to think. But when you bring in clients who's always crying and complaining over every little trade, and now you're trying to trade for the client versus trading the way you normally would because you got this in your head. You already know what the routine is. You never care about, hey, if you have a bad trading day, it's not that big of a deal. Why? Because I still have a whole month to get to my goal. So I don't need to be crying over every freaking little trade. I don't need to cry over every little day. Oh, this day was okay. Like we always do, we're going to make it back, because we can't control the markets. When news events come out or whatever's going to happen, the market is going to do what do. It's going to happen several days a month. That's normal. We don't cry about it. But when we start bringing in other people who can't even make a dollar for themselves, and now they're trying to tell you how to trade, now you got all these noise in the back of your head instead of just, hey, just leave the people alone. Let them trade comfortably the way they've been trading, because this is the way we think. We got a monthly goal. We're not tripping off a day. Here's a day. That even banks and institutions do the same exact thing. They lose trade and they lose money too, in the millions. But at the end of the year, they always come out on top. Always when they trade. They don't care. It's only the retail trader always thinking that every trade got to be the home run. You got to fix that this year. Everybody understand what I'm saying? You got to fix that. Expect losses. Instead of asking, what's your win rate? Do you have a 75% win rate? Reverse that and say, I'm going to automatically anticipate a 25% loss rate this year on my monthly. Every month, it's going to be at least a 25% loss rate, which means I'm expecting some losses to happen. So when they do happen, I'm not freaking out. If there's a bad day, bad couple of days, I don't care, which is, like I said, go look at YouTube videos of people who are highly successful talk about they're losing. You're always looking for a strategy, and every person is win, win, win. Start looking up those who are talking about, hey, I didn't win this week. And I really want to play this video. I'll maybe save it for next week because it's like 10 minutes long and we're at the end of class. But of this guy, and I respect him too. Nice guy, very young guy. But he talked about when he was on a roll, young millionaire. And then he lost $200,000 on gold. And it wasn't over one trade, it was back to back. At the same time that Golden Boy was having trouble. And then guess what? He talked to somebody at Chase Bank who said, no, it's just the markets. So it didn't matter whether you was a professional trader or you just starting out, the markets are going to have a turbulent time. And when this professional trader, and I'll probably play the video, somebody remind me next week, I'll probably play it. It's too late now. But I want you guys to see this guy. Highly successful Forex trader, trading gold. Market slapped him around. He lost $200,000. And the boy went into depression. He talks about it on camera. He went into depression. All that success went right out the window because the pressure of knowing that, hey, this is my income that feeds my family. I don't have a backup plan. I don't have 20 different incomes. This is it. And when he had hit that rough patch, yeah, it knocked him. But for you and I, we know we only need $20 a day if you got a 10K account. And you can scale that number up if you have, the larger your prop firm account or personal account, the larger the account, you know, I don't need that much every day. Especially because I'm going to multiply it over multiple accounts so that I'm not focused on one account having to be the be all end all. I can stretch it over a number of accounts. And by me doing so, it takes the pressure off of me trying to make this one account be everything. If this class was helpful, type a 500 in the box. Oh, somebody have a question. Okay, I'll go to questions real quick. iPhone, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Hi. All right.
Hey, hey, I recently, I think it was last week, I subscribed to Jenny's US 30
Mhm,
copier, and
mhm,
I have two accounts with CoinX and Hero FX,
mhm,
and they just started this week. They're doing pretty good. I just
mhm.
wanted to ask you, Uncle, what would you prefer, like would you prefer Blue Guardian or any other prop firm to get her copier connected to one of those? Because I'm not
Uh,
sure what prop firm I should get.
yeah, me, I don't endorse prop firms because again, I don't work there. They can change the rules and they can do whatever they do. I only keep mentioning them because so far out of the ones I've been using, they're the most, they're the least strict on their rules, on a lot of their rules. So that's why I keep mentioning working with them. But again, there's go to propfirmmatch.com and they have a whole plethora of information that you can plug in and do reviews on them and all these different. There's a lot of prop firms out there. E8, I heard about them. Maven is another one. So you and they all got different rules and this and that. And so I would just say go to propfirmmatch.com and do your own due diligence from there because that's one website I can say that I highly respect and like their website because you can do a lot of research, pick your trading platforms, what country you want, what's the lot. It's very, very informative. And then once you narrow down, okay, these are the prop firms that fits my parameters, then you can actually click on reviews and review each one of those prop firm from other users and see what they had to say as far as payouts and how they do different things. So I would say go that route. But for me personally, uh, I've done a bunch of different prop firms, and so far, Blue Guardian stands out as the better of the ones that I've experienced. Now, there was another one that I was really, really gung ho, but there was one specific rule that I even spoke to them and said, "Hey, I even had a meeting with them and suggested that they do X, Y, Z." And the person who I was on the phone with, he said, "That's not a bad idea. That's a great idea. I'm taking this straight up to the higher up." And they still refuse to change. So it's like, okay, I can't force you to run your company different, but I can't talk about you no more because until you fix this is going to be an issue. So I go with the one that gives me the least headache.
So on a prop firm match, it'll also show what prop firms accept copiers.
Yep.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Great question. All right. Anybody else? Any other hands at the last minute before we go? And there's a lot of great companies out there. Like I said, that's why I suggest just do your own due diligence because what may work for me may not work for you. I do know that I'm thrilled, and I know they charge just a little bit more. It's like $100 more to get an instant funded account. Man, I'll give you that. I ain't tripping. I am not tripping. I'll give you that so I can. It's like I said, 2 weeks worth of work just to prove that I can trade. Man, I would already been up $7,000. And again, 7 times 10 accounts, that's $70,000 a month. Now I get 10, 10, 100K accounts, and all I can do is 7,000 a month. 7% on a 100K account times 10 accounts. That's 70K a month. Man, I'm gonna sit on my butt cheek. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. Versus doing, and when I do prop firm accounts, I don't do them 2 and 3 stages. That's just too much. I do one stage. One. I'm gonna prove myself one time, and then that ain't good enough for you. I move on to somebody else. Okay. So when you're doing, if you're going to do prop firms, don't be cheap trying to do, well, it's cheaper. I'm saving $20 by doing three. Man, your time is getting eaten up and your time is more precious than the extra 20 or 50 or $100, to do a one stage challenge. But for me, I'm going to bypass that too. Man, I'm ready to go. Let's go. It's 2025, baby. Debt free 2025. That's the goal. All right. Any other hands before we go? Any other hands? Quickly. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close our class. Thank you guys, everybody on YouTube, and the hundreds of people who will be watching this later. I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for giving us a shot. And again, if you just want to be copying on our trades, again, just go to supereasycopycat.com and choose the package that fits best for you. Okay. Ms. Donna, thank you very much for everything you do. All right, guys, we are out of here.